I got a shield upgrade from the floor. I just got a shield upgrade on the floor, bro. I got a shield upgrade on the floor. Yo, I'm level 97 and I just picked up an upgrade on the ground, bro. Would you guys like the really brain dead explanation for how to do the mechanic? Actually, I'll explain it with paint so you guys don't even get scared. Let's see if we can get this as brain dead as possible. So step 1, snake. You are basically trying to create either 1 or optionally 2 snakes within the temple, right? The second snake is optional. It just means it's gonna be stronger, obviously. But you are creating either 1 or 2 snakes within the temple. So at its very simplest, 1 big snake. And now the reason why you're creating a snake is it can't cut the snake in the middle. It has to cut the snake at the tip. Which means your temple's only ever gonna go back this far. Instead of cutting your temple and just destroying it and it's just, it's all fucked. It can only ever stop the tip. It can only ever cut the tip of the snake. Which basically means if you build up the tip of the snake, you'll never lose your snake. Yeah? So do you understand that so far? Now you might be wondering, like, what does that exactly mean? Well, it basically means you're not linking these up at all. Yeah? Like if I was to create rooms here, now it can kill the snake here. It can cut the snake here and here. Like it can kill it, and then your snake is this big now, and it's fucked, right? So you don't want it to link. That's bad. Linking is banned. Yeah? Great explanation? Okay. So what that means is every single thing you link, yeah, has to be exactly the right room. Yeah? Everything has to be the exact correct room. That's why it takes so long to make the snake. Because you might have noticed, one room doesn't necessarily connect to another. That's the hard part, right? That's the part you're confused about. You're wondering like, okay, so what rooms do I place where? Yeah? Very much so? Okay. So the simple answer is copy somebody else's homework. That's the simple answer. So rather than try to understand it yourself, look at somebody else's snake and just mimic their rooms one by one by one by one by one by one by one. That's the simple answer. But that works. And that's what I did. It works. Just get a generator, get a sacrificial room, get a corruption chamber, get a thaumaturgy, get a alchemy lab, get a armory, get a, just literally copy it one by one. Eventually you'll understand why they link over time and what not to do. If you want to understand it a little bit better, I can go one step further. Basically, there is another way of preserving the snake. Right, so obviously I mentioned that the snake only gets cut at the tip, right? But what if I told you, Dracus, there's a way that you can stop the tip from getting cut? Now, there's a room called a Spymaster. It's a very rare room, but if you can stack Spymasters, let's say orange is Spymaster, yeah? If you can stack a bunch of Spymasters along your snake, these rooms give you a medallion, which is basically a consumable, that can prevent the tip from being cut. Right? The medallion is prevent the destabilization of a room in the temple, but if you prevent this room from being disabled, it can't disable anything. So it's all protected. The whole snake is protected. And the best part is, if you get lots of Spymasters, you almost always get this medallion. So your temple at the very beginning should look, ignore the colors. At the very beginning, your temple should be this one path at the middle, and you want it to basically be clean, yeah? Like, you don't want any of the, any of those restricted rooms, the special rooms, you want none of them. Your architect, you just build around your architect, but it's, you're gonna have to, like, just be careful with your architect, yeah? Once you've got a, no restricted rooms, you can start building. Now, let's just say we're gonna build one snake, right? Now, I'm building two, but let's just keep it simple with one. The main thing you need to understand is you want to build Spymasters, right? So, the way we build Spymasters is via, this is where it might get a little bit complicated, but I'll explain. This is a cheat sheet for all the relevant rooms. So, we only need to focus on this little loop here. Just focus on this top left corner. I'll even zoom in so you don't get scared. Well, I can't zoom in, but just focus on this little loop here. Basically, you build an armory, which links to a garrison, which links to a Spymaster, which links to a garrison, which links to an armory. And this effectively creates this loop. Garrison, Spymaster, garrison, armory, and that just loops. You see, this is 1, 2, 3, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? That's the loop. The armory effectively, what this does is it resets the loop and gives you effectiveness of humanoids, which is the main thing that drops loot in this. There are other variations of this, but this is the core one. And then, yeah, you literally just go boop, 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 and that's it. That's all you do. I got it written down. That's it. Now, this is the most important chain. We call this one the Spymaster chain. And the reason we call this the Spymaster chain is, as you may have noticed, we run a lot of Spymasters. Now, there is one more thing you need to understand. Well, no, there's two more things. So I'll explain one more thing real quick. So Spymasters only upgrade two main ways. There's a medallion in the temple that upgrades a room, but it can only upgrade the room one time. You can't upgrade with multiple times with this medallion. So that's one method. Very important, because you want to upgrade your Spymasters like this. The second thing is Spymasters can assassinate other Spymasters. So let's go back to your very first Spymaster chain. Let's say you get to this point. What ends up happening, right? So you've placed your first Spymaster and you're like, yay, I finally got one. Then you get your second one and you're like, yes, I'm starting to do it. Then your temple, your Spymaster gets deleted and this one gets upgraded now. And you're thinking, what the fuck just happened? Well, if you read Spymasters, maybe I can even show you. Can you see on the actual text at the bottom in the gray text, assassinates other Spymasters. That's how they level up, yeah? Now, that's intentional. There is some tech around it, but that's intentional. Now, this is optional, but it will save you a lot of time, so it's very good to know. Even though this is advanced, I think it's important to know this. In order to get assassinated, a Spymaster has to be unprotected. Think of it like the Spymaster room has to be vulnerable to the other Spymaster, yeah? So this Spymaster and this snake can't be assassinated, because remember how I told you, you can't cut the snake in half? But this Spymaster is at the end of the snake. Now, this Spymaster could be anywhere, by the way. Let's just pretend, hypothetically, you were building, you know, other rooms randomly. So let's just say you had another Spymaster here randomly, right? So let's just say your temple looked like this instead, yeah? This Spymaster is unprotected. If you protected the Spymaster by doing this, it wouldn't work, by the way, which would be bad. But what you want to do is you want to let this Spymaster, this one right here, be unprotected. Unprotected means it's not surrounded by any other tiles, right? So it's not protected, right? But you leave it on its own hanging anywhere, and then it gets assassinated by this one. But so the way it gets assassinated is when you're running the temple itself, you go into this room, and the room is just empty. Because everyone's dead already. Because this Spymaster killed it all already, yeah? Once you've done that, when you're about to end the temple, so you exited the temple now, and you're in this room here, right? And you're about to click end. Before you click end, you need to use, you remember how I told you about those lock medallions? If you lock it, it won't delete it. So now this is not an exploit, it's just very clever. But obviously what we can do then is we can place these Spymasters, get them assassinated by this Spymaster to level it up, and then lock it after it's leveled up, and it will keep your Spymaster. So it's a way of, basically it doubles up on the Spymaster. You can even, by the way, so you could have your temple like this, right? And this one Spymaster here, you could just keep locking it over and over and over again, and it would upgrade this one, and this one. So you can use one Spymaster at the end to upgrade multiple Spymasters. Now the reason why you want these at level 3 is for one reason. At level 3, they have a higher chance to drop the medallion to lock. Which Spymaster do you have to clear first? The one on the end or the one you want to upgrade? Technically it doesn't matter, because if a Spymaster is in the chain, it can't be assassinated. Alright, anyway, alright. Back to the noob explanation chat. As you might have noticed, my temple doesn't just have the Spymaster chain. It has a lot of them. It has 8 of them, to be clear. And more is not bad either, by the way. But why? So the thing is, right? This barracks gives you more rare monsters. This increases the effect of your garrisons and armories and stuff, right? And then this armory gives you humanoid effectiveness. Now, 2 of those things are really good. You've got more rare monsters and more effectiveness. But that's just going to give you a lot of loot. How do you get good loot? You need rarity. That's where this final chain comes in. So basically, there's an alchemy lab chain that you can do. And it looks, there's a few variations of it. But basically looks a little something like, there's 2 variations. Is it, I'm still learning this myself. But basically, you can either do Alchemy Lab into Gem Room, into Alchemy Lab, and then you break it up with the Armory. So you can connect an Armory from your Spymaster chain, right, with an Alchemy Lab, and then you can just do Thaumaturgy Alchemy Lab infinitely. And if you ever want to go back to a Spymaster chain, you just place that in an armory, and then a garrison. And then you can switch back to Spymaster chain. Or you can even, again, you can even do you can go armory, alchemy lab again. So we'll call this the alchemy lab chain, and this the Spymaster chain. And the reason why alchemy lab is good, Drekel, is because you want rarity. You see how this has 60% rarity? So I don't know how many of these is optimal, but try to get at least, I would say, probably 4 or 5 of them, right? There's probably a point where, like, it gets a bit, like, excessive. I mean, how many does my temple have? A lot, actually. Holy shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I guess my temple has a lot. Why do people start with a generator room? It's optional. It's just because it doesn't link to other rooms. But anyway, that's it, Draco. You have a rarity chain with alchemy labs, which can link to a Spymaster chain via armory. So think of armory as like the link between the rarity chain and the Spymaster chain. So you kind of get it now. Great info. And all of this is assuming it's for the optimal strat and completely ignoring the architect and its Ziri. Yeah, so the Ziri won't matter as long, because I believe Ziri needs a path. Like, it won't link with these rooms. Now, to be clear, your architect can fuck you. So let's say your architect was here. It would link to this. It would link to these rooms, I believe. So your architect placement does matter a lot. You kind of have to like let's say you had an architect here on this chain. Well, Rue got fucked by his architect. Yeah. Let's say your architect was here. You couldn't build here. So what all that means, by the way, you can still do the snake. Just don't path near here, right? So instead of putting the room here like you normally would with a snake, just put it here and just go around it. Obviously, it's not as efficient, but that's fine. Because, like, honestly, your temple is still insane by this point anyway. Let's say this was your current temple, right? This is the snake you had built. What happens if you don't get a lock medallion? Because that can happen, especially at the beginning, by the way. Very simple. You build what we call fodder. So commanders, for example, can link to garrisons. Yeah? What else? Armories can link to alchemy labs. Yeah? Try not to create loops in the corner, by the way. In the corner, there's a bug. This is a bug. This shouldn't happen. But there's a bug that can break your snake. It's a bug, though. So try not to create, like, don't do this. It's happened to Cute Dog. It's happened to, Lance. Don't create loops in the corner. It's a bug. It's not supposed to happen. It's a bug. But basically, you can place these hanging tiles out here. Because you see how it doesn't connect to your snake? And you can use these pieces as fodder. This is especially important, Trackle, because at the beginning, you're not going to have any, at the beginning, you're not going to have this middle part taken, right? So you can use this entire center as fodder. So you could even just place pathways, because you can use paths as fodder, yeah? So you could use this entire left side to get eaten by the temple until you build your main chain big enough to sustain itself with medallions. Because ideally you protect your snake with medallions, but you don't have medallions at the beginning. So just build fodder. Like basically just, like let's look at my temple in game. You see this? This is just food for the temple to eat. Now, one more thing. I know it's a lot. I'm sorry. Your fodder works the same way. Like, your temple basically picks, like, let's say it just picks 5 pieces to delete. It depends on how big your temple is, but let's say it picks 5 pieces. It has to pick them based on what's available at the time. So let's say you had, let me just go back to paint real quick. So what ideally your fodder should look like this. Like it should have a bunch of like endpoints. Yeah, so you should have rooms here, 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 here. Basically, this way, when the mechanic chooses what to eat, it can choose this, or this, and that way, this is always protected. Well, not always. It's protected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's a 1 in 11 chance every time the temple chooses what to delete. But anyway, that's literally everything that I know. There's probably more to it, but that's everything I know at least. And that's enough to build the temple. So, hey.